Hi there, Internet people. This is Chris Skutzer, founder of Cary Spotlight. This is week 19. We are tracking our development of our hyperlocal newsletter here in Cary over the last year. We are leading up to our anniversary edition on 24 October 2024. So let's see what happened in week 19 and what lessons we can learn and some things that we will able to repeat in the future. So right here, this is February 27th, and issue 127. We are starting with some sports betting stories, Wake County School story, DMV. Whoever had a fun time at DMV, and our recurring feature here is our updated crime data from the Cary Police Department, and then two sports stories. So there you go. We got our Wake County School panic button story, so that's good for parents to know. DMV has new tinting rules, so people need to know about that. And then we have our crime data. It's updated weekly. So there you go. So that's pretty straightforward. And we do a couple of sports stories and featuring an upcoming event, a local event. And of course, our little meme at the end. On this issue, we're talking about our health and wellness edition. So we are having an origin story from Coach Alex. We'll have a recurring spot in our health and wellness edition. So we're introducing him, his video, and then we go over a couple of health risks for people sitting at a desk all the time, like me, and some COVID, post-COVID stories, a resource for local people where they can go do hiking and biking. And again, another story about mental health. So we have that one, introducing that. Antidepressant use, that's another health story. We're talking about having a different kind of attitude, mental health. And so we have our therapist reacts to the movies, and that's how they have a discussion about different mental health topics. So that's pretty standard, and we have some engagement here. So that's kind of something we haven't tried in a while. Might be interesting to bring that one back again. It's like a reader poll where people get to react, and they get to see the live results from the group. So that's pretty cool. Always testing new ways to do the polls and new ways to do things. And here we are looking at the next day. We're looking at egg freezing and what it means for reproductive freedom. Some economic incentives to get companies to go remote. Again, there's a large portion of our community that are doing remote work or partly doing remote work. And here again, we bring back our Cary High School streaming schedule. So we're showing people where they can go and get the screening data for that. Let's see. Yes. So now, as you can see, we've expanded the list by not just by date, but by school. Cary High School, Cary High, Cary High, Cary High. Different sports, and then also included Panther Creek and Green Level. And here we have a small sample of the high schools in Cary, and then we had people specify. The outcome of this is that every time people added a new school to this other column, we changed the schools that they could vote for. So now we have a much larger list, but this is the origin of that. Okay, and another book recon that's comes back every once in a while. So depending on what books I'm reading and what's of interest. And here we have triangle universities. They're always big in research, so we do to highlight that. Gives us some kind of a pride in the community. There's a leap there was a leap year. Let me see, that was yesterday, the last issue. And so triangle babies born in a leap year. So that was kind of like a rare thing. So talk about that. And the Good Hope Farm is where people can go, learn about farming in the local community. It's kind of ties back to the heritage of Cary, North Carolina, that was rooted in agriculture. So brings that back. Oh, cute, cute baby. Where you call home. So we kind of throw that in also once in a while, sprinkling this reader poll to get the pulse to see where people are subscribing from within the city. Here we do pretty cool. We had a little high school sports. We found a video online of actual high school sports, so we put that in there so people can go check that out. And then this is interesting. This is different books that people can read, kind of like giving them idea of different sections. So that one is pretty straightforward. And then we have a car crash. So again, we're doing a little bit of crime, landfill odor, hospitals. Again, this is another pride item. Best hospital, making the best hospital list. So this is something that disrupted traffic. So this kind of explains what happened. The odor problem, Triangle Hospitals making the list, so people can go check that out. And of course, we have the ACC Championship. This was a heartbreaking story of a player, someone getting disqualified for celebrating. So that's something kind of like your brain go, what? And this one, we're getting people's reaction on what types of learnings they're interested in, books. And so that data is used to kind of select the books that we'll review in the future. And then we get to our second specialty edition, which is our travel and discovery edition. We're talking about honeymooning in French Polynesia, some airport news. This is a local dog that ran away and came back to its owner after 27 days adventure. So that's kind of a happy reunion story. And then we have our ongoing cruise ship series that's going on here. And then we have a recipe, a tasty recipe that we share. So there you go. That's the dog that finally made it back home. And we're continuing the reader poll on this. A cruise ship is no longer available. That was last year. And the tasty recipe, we'll lay the whole thing out. They can go check out the full post and give us feedback whether or not they would be open to trying that recipe. And then here we go. Real estate edition again. We got our standard hook. Now, as you can see, we have our extended reader poll on how long people have lived, plus 60 years. Don't be surprised. I had somebody 64 years living in Cary, so that's always interesting. We got our real estate listings, mortgage rates. So here we do like a summary, like a snapshot. We don't do that all the time, but like once a month or once a quarter sometimes. Maybe, yeah. So it's not a frequent thing that we put in, but it's something that's of interest for people. And then the summary of the major stories or ideas or trends in real estate and the mortgage markets. And then here we had something that we didn't do a lot of, but yeah, it's just kind of like a home inspector that I found online that was willing to share some of his content. So we put that in as well. And here's another post. Somebody on LinkedIn I saw that was pretty good. It's in the local area. You reference the source, and this is something that the homeowners may want to do have attention to. So that's it. That's the week's awards. A couple of things that we would do again. A couple of things that we would keep. But on to the next week, like they say. Have a good one.